So, I was thinking about She-Ra today. I think about She-Ra a lot. See all the She-Ra stuff? Like, for real, guys. Look. It's kind of crazy, right? Well, when you grow up in the 80s, it's what you do. Especially when you're a young girl looking for empowerment, right? And those of us who grew up in a broken system, like the foster care system, really were lacking empowerment, weren't we? And I was thinking about it, and I don't know which version of She-Ra you've watched. If you watched the classics or if you've watched the Netflix version, both are fantastic. They're just quite a bit different. I really like some of the updates the Netflix version did. But Catra is kind of villainized, right? And I think Catra reminds me a lot of what many young people in foster care experience, being villainized as their behaviors struggle because they're struggling emotionally and they don't have the language or the skills or the safety to find security and find themselves and, be able to make decisions that would make everybody else happy, right? Which it's a whole nother conversation. We could talk about how making everybody else happy can also be a survival skill. But I was also thinking about, like, what if we didn't have to be Catra? What if we could be She-Ra, right? Because She-Ra wasn't just the good girl. She really wasn't. She led a rebellion, right? She led a rebellion of other women and a few sprinkles of men to capture, like, to fight against Hordak and the Horde and to save those who were struggling and in need. And not to mention, I should totally blog about her. She-Ra had been kidnapped because She-Ra was supposedly like the twin sister of He-Man, right? She had been kidnapped and was raised not even knowing where she came from. And then when she did, like, she lost everything and she had to create a family of her own out of her princesses, right? The princesses of power. So as much as I'm being a little cheesy right now because I love She-Ra and She-Ra has a permanent place on my desk by Rainbow Bright, what if we led a rebellion? What if we began to fight back against a broken system that hurts families, that was intended to protect kids and help families, by at least reaching out and helping each other, especially those of us that have aged out of a system that didn't remember us after we were gone? What if we remembered each other? What if we rescued ourselves and led this rebellion to help one another and create a family of our own? What if we could be She-Ra?